Happy Friday. Hope everyone is having a good week and you're ready for the weekend. I'm not sure how the sound is going to appear and the light because I'm house and dog sitting and I might be echoing a little bit. This is a big house. I'm not used to living in a large single family house in the suburbs. It's definitely been an interesting experience over the past week. Um, yeah, so in this live stream, I was just going to go over my first half of the year insert, my traveler's notebook, because if you can believe it, tomorrow is July. So the Avec will start on July 1st, so I figured we could take a look at everything I did from January to June and then go ahead and put the July start date in my traveler's notebook. And I do have some goals I kind of want to talk about because now that we're entering the second half of the year, it's kind of like a refresh of New Year's resolutions. So, anyway, I made a coffee with some cold foam on top, and that's what we're gonna do. So, if you're watching, go ahead and say hi in the comments. Let us know where you're dialing in from and what your plans are for the weekend. I'm gonna see one of my friends tomorrow and just hang out with the dog and do some journaling and all that fun stuff. We have really bad air quality here. Like, you're not really supposed to be outside, kind of bad air quality, so I'm limiting my outdoor activities. And one thing I'm missing, but when I had gone to Joann's, I had got this Tombow glue pen. And all my haste of moving and traveling and being gone for 6 weeks and all that stuff, I didn't necessarily pack the best journaling setup. Like, I don't have any tape runner. I forgot scissors. It was just all too chaotic. So we're just working with what we got, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the first half of the year in my traveler's notebook. Oh, Sophia Isabel's here. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good weekend ahead of you. Now it's doing that thing where I can't see the comments very clearly, so I apologize if I missed something. There's like the... Let's see what happens if I tap it. Like it... The what's that word I'm thinking of? The not emoticons. What's that called? The emojis. Is that the word? Emojis? The emojis cover half of like what you say, so I apologize, I can't see it. Eugenie's here. We are so glad you're here, Eugenie. Happy Friday. Hope you had a good week. Let us know what your weekend plans are. I'm going to just flip through my journal kind of as we talk here. So tomorrow's July 1st, so if you can believe it, that means anyone who has a July start date planner or an Avec traveler's notebook or Hobonichi, tomorrow is your new day. So my goal for this traveler's notebook, besides doing my cat comic, was to just fill in something every day in the weekly insert. So as you'll see, some days I did not do anything too elaborate, but that's okay. I just wanted to have each day with something in the box. Could be a sticker, could be a piece of washi tape, whatever. And I finished that last night. I got caught up, and now we're on June 30th and we're done. So my goal for the next month is to be a little bit more on schedule with journaling. Instead of waiting and doing a couple weeks at a time or a couple days at a time, I kind of want to do it maybe, ideally I would love to do something every night and journal about that day, like draw something and write something, but maybe like every other day, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if you aim to work in your journal daily, or do you like to sit down and do stuff all at once on the weekends? I find it kind of hard to keep up with, but I'm so tired of feeling like I'm behind all the time. So that's why I'm bringing that up. Okay. So here we have the horizontal weekly. I didn't really do anything at the beginning. And I was in Boston for New Year's, visiting my friend, which I go every New Year's. We watched Below Deck and we just had a nice time. And then I did some more drawing with my fountain pen. Took the train home from Boston. I thought about planners. It was my niece's birthday. And you'll see, I didn't always do something on the right page. My goal was to record things I was watching, things I was reading on the right page, but I didn't keep up with that either. So hopefully we can improve. And then I kind of just drew my cat guy a little bit bigger, just to fill in some of the days. Again, drew again with a fountain pen, put a coffee sticker. This is actually a sticker from Dollar Tree, I think. At coffee time. I wrote about this book called 50 Sounds by Polly Barton, which was really cool. This was a Polaroid sticker I ordered from Zen Glyph's channel. She talked about these stickers. It's like moons and night skies and the ocean. It's a really cool sticker pack because it looks like a Polaroid, right? Did a little bit of sketching in my job at the writing center at the college. I cleaned, went live, had Korean food. Oh, that's my friend I'm gonna see tomorrow, so I'm excited. I tried to paint the book I read called The Orchard, which I highly recommend, and wrote a little bit about it. This, as you can see, I started to write what material I was using. So this was with a Lamy All-Star with the Waterman Blue Serenity ink, but as we learned, it really smears. I guess because it's water-based, I'm not sure, but it really did not bode well. So we learned that. Georgetown, I got good news on the 31st. Worked at the college, I went for a walk. I made pancakes. You know, all the fun things of life. Then the next week I tried my Sailor fountain pen with the black cartridge. I had to go to Albany for work. It was so cold. Went out to dinner, had a long day at my work site. On our live, we joked about having our own stationary caravan, kind of like how Travelers Company has their stamp caravan, and went to the library. This I used a Sakura Pigma Micron PN and my Dollar Tree colored pencils. So I finished reading The Orchard. That was the day that the Olive Edition debuted again. Worked at the college, went out to breakfast because I had a dentist appointment, so I took off from work. I worked my part-time job where I was coding literature, and I went for a walk on the river. Put some Kita tape, drew my cat, and tried to draw a lighthouse. That kind of failed. Noticed that I tend to buy a lot of washi tapes that have plaid or lines in them. I don't know why, just like it. Oh, and I think this one is a Kita tape, and maybe this one too, but these are washi. I drove to Knoxville. I was thinking about my new career, which is now in Knoxville. I kept getting more job offers, which is a pretty cool thing to look back on now. I was enjoying spring. I put some of these Happy Planner stickers for my sister. I was thinking about my decision because I was getting offers and couldn't decide which one to go with, which is a nice problem to have. This one I used the Tombow drawing pen in 05, which is kind of my OG. It's the one I keep using. I find myself coming back to this one more than all the other ones, so this will be my go-to. And of course with Dollar Tree color pencils. I had to do a work trip to Richmond, I had to work on my research, I had to go to Georgetown for work, I had coffee I walked at a bookstore. My niece and sister came for spring break. I took them to the National Mall and all the touristy things. More washi tape, stickers, working on my planner, Happy Easter. Went to IKEA with my day off. I sat outside and enjoyed the weather. I told work that I was going to be leaving, cat out of the bag, and I tried to use some stamps. Washi tape, stamps. We have an event at the college that I used to work at with like blind date with a book, so I had to wrap dozens of books and write like summaries of them. And then these are German stickers, those are stamps. And I finished reading What We Do in the Dark by Michelle Hart, which is definitely 5 stars. Had to go to LA and Phoenix for work, did a YouTube live, put some stickers up. This is, I used a lay pen, drawing pen, apartment hunting, drive home. I went to a comedy show, which I had to miss a big event at the university. Actually, I was getting an award, and it was like an award ceremony, and I had already bought tickets to this show that I really wanted to see in Baltimore, and I don't regret going. It was amazing. I still got the award, I just missed out on like the celebration part. Went to my favorite Japanese restaurant for bento and more stickers. Read Gina Davis's memoirs, highly recommend. This, I used some stamps I got at Kinokuniya in LA and some coffee washi. I had my thesis defense for my master's degree, and then my mom came and we started packing my apartment up for my move. Anne Marie passed away, unfortunately. She did live a good 1.5 years, so we're happy about that. I used some of these stickers that I think I talked about them in my last week live from Planner 52 or whatever that's called. Anyway, I had a graduation ceremony for my master's, and I made my decision, and I'm going to do my PhD and work at the University of Tennessee. Put a lot of washi tape in here to kind of not only fill up the pages, but just give it some depth, I guess. I always save fortunes from fortune cookies, more packing. I started to draw a little bit with Zebra Mild Liner highlighter, and I had fun with that. And I got these kawaii puffy stickers at Five Below with my niece. I read Night Shift by Chiari Ladner, and that was definitely a wild ride. 4 stars out of 5, just because of how the timeline was weird and parts of it were really slow and parts of it were really fast. So this was a full week, enjoying simple pleasures. Last night at my apartment was May 30th. Moving day was June 1st. I got my new place on June 1st. I unpacked, did all of like the normal shopping you have to do when you move in somewhere, and organized my closet. I got a bird feeder, which I was super excited about because my new place has outdoor space, which I didn't have before. Went to the grocery store, got more furniture. For a while I did nothing but just like stare at a ceiling fan, which is so unlike me. Went to a Chinese place for lunch, and it was so good, and it was a few minutes from my house. And another fortune cookie and washi tape. This is cool. This was at Planet Word, which is a museum about language here in DC. And there's like this cool machine that you can select what you want, and it prints out like a receipt of literature. It's like mobile literature. And this was I clicked like classic literature, and then I chose one that was for children's literature, and it like prints out, a children's story. So it's just a cool way to, I don't know, put something to read and literature easily into people's hands. Like imagine being able to just go to an ATM machine and be like, yeah, print me out a short story to read, and it just prints this out for you for free. I thought it was a cool thing. Stickers, dog sitting, fortune cookies, the Kokio notebook cover, wrapper. And yeah, we're in our final days, and I got bubble tea yesterday. And if you can believe it, it's now July tomorrow morning. So let's go ahead and take out the first half of the year. I thought about keeping in the first half of the Avec, but I realized because I don't have my stuff with me, because I'm traveling, I don't have any extra Traveler's Notebook rubber bands. So we're just gonna take out the first half and put in the second half. And I also do not have the tabs with me. Didn't think that far ahead. This was actually packed up in a box, and it was right before where I needed to leave. I was searching so hard, I just wanted to get my July start date, because I'm not going to be home again until July 23rd or 24th. And I didn't want to go 3 whole weeks without having my right Traveler's Notebook, especially if one of my goals is to not get behind. So we want to start off on the right foot for sure. So we're just going to insert into the existing rubber band. Okay. So now we have the July start date, July to December 2023. And then the second half is kind of my notebook that I use for my YouTube planning of videos I want to make and things I have dreams of that have not happened yet. And as you can see, these are from some of the stamps from the stamp caravan. Is that one? No. Like this one, yeah. So, and I thought maybe we could decorate a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this ephemera pack from Joann's. I have no idea what these things are actually gonna look like. I did post a reel about these. My sister and I had went to Joann's, and I was so surprised that they had a lot of journaling stuff, and it was all very inexpensive. I think for all the items that I got, which was like 6 or 7 items, it was like $10 or something like that, because it was like 2 for something or 40% off, and then we use a teacher's discount. Like you can use coupons on top of it, so things ended up being really inexpensive. So if you have a Joann's store near you, I would recommend stopping in if you just want to check out stationery stuff. Okay, so looks like we got some words. This says friendship, very nice. And this says celebrate and love. Oh no, is this gonna be like a marriage ephemera kit, which will not apply to me? So okay, just flowers and hearts and butterflies. Butterflies. They're kind of like cardstock tags, really. I love that. It's like a vintagey look, some flowers. Ooh, this is nice. This is neutral green. Here's another tag. Another tag. This one is lined. This one's nice too. It kind of makes you think of like a big stamp. And then here's another floral one. So those were the ephemeras. And I'm wondering, I'm assuming they all have this kind of like hole so you can tie it to something. Like maybe if you're doing favors at like a wedding or like a bridal shower or something, that you would tie this to like, I don't know, the bottle of wine that you get or something. So let's put that aside and look at something else. Actually, let's take a coffee break. Oh, let's open up these stamps, which nobody's shocked. I do not have my acrylic block with me. I don't have any ink with me. So I can't really use any of this stuff until I get home, but we can take a look at it. And I think this is made either to fit in a Filofax or a Happy Planner. I couldn't really tell. Again, it was very inexpensive. Even without a coupon, I think this is like $3.49 or something, or $4. So still inexpensive. Okay, it's like a folder. And then here, so we have different, like a habit tracker or monthly calendar, just lines, important, month, a little grid, days of the week, check off boxes. I just like this. I thought it was different. Yeah. And then I guess maybe they sell other ones that you would also put in the pocket. That's kind of cool. And then here is the aesthetic sticker that was very like spring garden-y vibe, and I just liked it with the mice and the strawberries. Life is what you make of it. Oh, and there's stuff on the back too. So I guess this theme kind of all goes together from their brand of Park Lane. But look, these were only $2.49, and I'm pretty sure it was, I paid 50% off of that, or 40% off of that, which should put it on par with Dollar Tree, so can't beat that. The dog is watching me right now, like, who is he talking to? Okay, so it's like a sticker set. I like the colors of it and the plants, but look at the little mouse eating strawberries. It's almost like a children's book or something. Life is sweet, enjoy the little things. And I actually kind of like that it's like on a cardboard thing. It's sturdy. Then more stickers, again, 2 sheets, $2.49, but that's not what I paid. That matches that theme. These are kind of glossy, so there's strawberries and bugs, and look at the little mouse. And yeah, definitely a vibe. What else do we got? And this little list pad, which when I saw these, my first thought was this would be perfect for a standard size traveler's notebook. It's just literally a little notepad, but could absolutely fit. Ooh, and the backing of it's actually really thick. So if you have a standard size folder, you could just kind of like put it in. Doesn't take up too much space, but it's nice to have like an extra notepad just to write things down. Because sometimes when I'm out, I like to carry sticky notes or something like this. That way, if I do have to write something down, then I'm either giving it to someone or it's just something totally unrelated to my journaling, and I don't want to take paper out of my notebook or ruin it or anything like that. I can just jot it down in here and take it off and be on my way. That's that, and then I got another one, and we're giving a shout out to the Grow Chow. I don't know if I said that right. They will rewatch. They will watch the replay of the live. They could not attend the actual live tonight. So this one is kind of along that theme of the gardens, and it's tiny little grid paper, and I just like that. And then this is the Park Lane sticky notes. I just like how they look. Oh, and they come on a plastic backing. Just like little flags. So yeah. And last but not least, the Tombow glue pen. And I'm pretty sure I've used this before. Permanent. I was gonna get one of their tape runners, like their brand of tape runners, just to try, but I was like, no, let's stick with our traveling light. And this is a perfect small thing that can fit in your pencil case. Mono glue pen, easy non-squeeze applicator, 1.0 millimeter line width. It leaves no excessive glue on project. Recap, non-refillable, made in Japan. And it does show you remove cap, press and roll on surface. It's kind of just like you're using it like a marker. And we're gonna try to open it. I'm curious if this would work though on the cover of my traveler's notebook. So I mean, it's funny because it really just does look like a pen. So if you have this, don't accidentally grab it thinking you're gonna write with it as a pen. Because I mean, it really can be mistaken easily. Yeah, but let me know if you like using glue pens or glue sticks versus glue tape. I've always used the Tombow glue tape and other adhesives like that. But since I was traveling and didn't have one, I said, well, I shouldn't buy what I normally use. I should buy something different just to give it a try, since I had to buy something anyway, which is why I went for the glue pen. So I guess we could test it out. Let's take this campus notebook. Let's take this piece of paper. I'm going to Are we gonna have another incident where when I use a pen on live it doesn't work? Okay, I'm starting to see a gloss come out, so I'm assuming, yeah. This is probably really helpful for like really fine things that you wanna attach on. But I'm thinking because of the marks it makes on the page, see how it like affects the page so much? It's probably way better just to use the adhesive tape. But we're learning. So just stick this on. I'm losing my confidence. Yeah, that did not work very well. Let's recheck the directions. I'm looking at the French part. Press and roll onto surface with slow, steady pressure. Okay. Let's get this out of the way so it can be flat. So we're probably not going to be decorating my notebook covers tonight, that's for sure. This glue is not giving me confidence here. Analog's here. Hello, Analog Planner. Let me see what your comment says. I'm sorry. Try applying the glue to both papers. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, let's try that. So let's do like a square. I mean, I can see the glue coming out. So if we put a little square there, and then let's put a little. Can you see? Okay, yeah. We're putting a little bit across here. Putting it down, pressing it down, smearing my ink. We're gonna wait 10 seconds. I know I need to be patient here. And of course, this kind of thing really is for when you're on the go. I wouldn't use this for like big things that you want to glue on, or if you're trying to make a notebook cover or something. So, okay, it worked better. Thank you, Analog Planner. Your suggestion definitely helped, because look, it's actually stays on the page. I don't know if you can tell. I mean, I'm sure if I put a little bit of pressure, it would definitely rip off quite easily, but okay. So I want to say without the coupon, this might have been like $3.49, and then I used whatever percent coupon I got off. So this was like I think probably less than $3, $2 or $3. So definitely not bad. Again, especially if you have something like you're applying little dots or little something really tiny or has corners that you want to be able to draw on a very thin line, it probably works great. Interesting. Okay. So, what are some of my goals? Let's get a writing implement out. I'm going to use this Sarasa Grand pen. I think that's just going to be black ink. I just bought the turquoise color. And let's just jot down some July 2023 goals. In parentheses, Avec, because this is really for my Avec planner. So I really want to fill in every day. And by day, I mean box. But I don't want to wait for the end of the week. So maybe we can say, just work on journal at least 3 times a week. Whoops. That way we're keeping up with our days and we're not overdoing it. I also want to kind of work on my media journaling, where I talk about what I'm watching and what I'm reading. If you have a better suggestion for what maybe you call it in your journal, I feel like I just call it media because it's watching TV and movies and reading books, but I don't know if that fits into that category. So media journaling on right side. And then I want to, what was the other thing I said I wanted to do? See, this is why I write it down, because I'm going to forget. Oh, I do want to work with different media or mediums, different materials, i.e. gouache paint, stamps, etc. Like I really want to just break away from just using my Tombow and color pencils, because as much as I love that, I feel like I should be doing other things to get good practice on. And yeah, so really the goal is just to try to journal more regularly. If anyone has any tips, again, please let us know and share in the comments below or in the chat about how you keep up with your journaling. I'm almost wondering if I should just set a time, kind of like how we do lives on Friday nights. Like I wonder if I just say, okay, like Wednesday night from 7 to 8:30, I'm just gonna journal in my traveler's notebook and just like say, okay, like dedicate that time to it. But then I might feel like a chore, I'm not sure. So anyway, working on our goals. And also later this weekend, I'm gonna be posting a video that's a little different than my other kind of videos. So if you have time this weekend, you know, if you click subscribe, click notifications, you'll see when that video goes live. I'm thinking I'll finish it and have it up on Sunday, depending on how my day goes tomorrow. But yeah. So that's pretty much all I have planned on my live for tonight. I wanted to go through my traveler's notebook, get started with my July setup. I'm looking forward to the second half of the year, which, like I mentioned before, come August 1st, my whole life is going to completely change. I'm going to be in a new career, living in a new place. I don't know what my schedule is going to be like. this coming Wednesday is the last day at my current job, at my current position. I transition on Wednesday afternoon, so this is going to be a very, I don't want to say emotional time, but a very, I guess, confusing. It's so weird to go to change up what you like. I've worked there for almost 10 years to like change it up and no longer be there every day. It's just a weird thing. So I'm not sure how I'm going to feel, but I'm looking forward to the change for sure. It's a good change. Cheryl's here. Hey Cheryl, happy Friday. What are you up to tonight? And what do you have planned for this weekend? I just did a little flip through of my January to June Traveler's Notebook Weekly, and we put in our July start because tomorrow is July 1st. And yeah, and I wrote down some things that I want to try to implement. And we went through the stuff from Joanne Fabrics, or Joanne's, that I posted the reel about. So if you haven't watched that reel, it's only 30 seconds. Go ahead and give it a watch. I do like these like cards. I think it would be a good like on the front of a notebook. This would look nice. I don't know. My creative mind is not 100% right now with everything going on. Like I feel like I'm running on a low battery, and I'm just kind of doing what I can. But I want to spend more time working on stuff, you know? You're shopping your stationery stash and doing some organizing. Oh, good luck with that. That can be both very fun, but also dangerous because you get sidetracked and you rediscover things you didn't know you had, and then you go on tangents. That's how I felt when I was moving, and all my stuff is still packed up at my new apartment. So when I get back, I have to start unpacking all my stationery boxes and figure out a system that works. Did you find anything really good yet, Cheryl? Or anything that surprised you? I did place an order for a journaling or planning, I don't know the word for it. I don't want to say independent seller, like small business, I guess. From Amber's Journey and Amber's channel. I think it's called Cute Cut Craft. So I ordered one of their kits, which it's a journaling kit, which I don't know when I'm gonna get because I'm actually having it shipped to the address of where I'll be 2 weeks from now because I'm not sure when it's going to ship because I think it comes from Canada. Hopefully it arrives before I go back to Tennessee, but that can be a whole different thing. So I'm looking forward to that. Then I got an email today that Jet Pens is having like a summer sale. So I don't know if there's something you've had your eye on at Jet Pens, now might be the time to buy it because I think they're changing their sale items either daily or periodically. So check back for that. And I saw there's a new TWSBI fountain pen, the new orange color. There's just a lot happening. And I want all of it. I want to just buy everything and try everything. And I didn't look into any other Avecs for July start date. I only looked into Traveler's Notebook, so I didn't look into any of the Hobonichis. I don't even know what other brands besides like academic year stuff, if they have any July start dates. Or, I mean, I'm assuming Traveler's Notebook does. Hobonichi I know because last year I had the Avec for the cousin. So I'm not sure. Let me know if you're doing any July start date stuff. And yeah, I'm just going to see my one friend tomorrow, meet her new dog. Not bringing the dog that I'm dog sitting because she's not good around other dogs. And she's not like trained right, so I don't want to risk that. But I'm having a lot of fun dog sitting. She's basically by my side all the time. She follows me every time I go somewhere, every room I go into. I take her out for walks like 3 times a day and play with her, and she just seems very content. So this has kind of been fun. So Cheryl rediscovered her B6stology. Can't wait to see the Hobonichi Weeks release in the fall. Yeah, this is the first year, Cheryl, I didn't buy any Hobonichi items, and now I'm thinking for 2024 I probably will. I still follow their social media because I'm always intrigued by like their design and all their different stuff, but I do miss having the Weeks at work because Weeks was what I used for work. I even thought about doing my cat comics in a Weeks, but I think I just prefer. I don't like the Hobonichi, the paper that Hobonichis use. I don't know. I don't know if it's just in my head. It just feels so thin to me, and I feel like I'm gonna rip it. Like my hands are too rough with it and all that. Banani's here. Let me know if I said your name wrong. I apologize. Have your chores done and you have a wee rest watching this live before doing the rest of chores. Oh, chores, yeah. You're gonna make a huge scrapbook out of your surplus brown paper bags. Well, that's awesome. Is your scrapbook like? Do you have a certain theme that you're using, or you're just gonna use? You're just gonna make the book and not fill it tonight. Yeah, I did chores earlier. Lots of vacuuming and cleaning dishes and mopping the floors, all that fun stuff. Okay, good. Anyone else, if I'm saying your name wrong, you just always let me know. I'm gonna make sure I say things right. And I think now it's actually raining here, which I didn't realize, but after the live stream's over, I'll take the dog for a walk. Cheryl thinks the 2024 starts the use of the new. See, that's what I thought too, Cheryl, because I remember there was like talk about it last year that they were changing the blah blah blah. And then when I went to look to find that article or someone's social media post about it or something, I couldn't find it. And then I thought maybe I just thought to myself that they were changing it and I just made it up in my head and I stopped trying to figure it out. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I do that sometimes with certain things and I'm like, oh, they definitely said this. And then I go back to try to find it. I'm like, well, maybe I just hope that they said that and it's not actually true. And it's a bummer because I have all my stuff at my new apartment that I want to try, right? So like I want to use that Mark's ink planner. I wanted to use my stamps and I have fountain pen ink there and all that stuff that I've been wanting to use, but because I'm just on the road, I couldn't bring stuff with me. You collect newspaper clippings if current and world events, so finally going to do something with them. Oh, that sounds awesome. Do you think you're gonna like organize them in a certain way, or are you just gonna put them in and maybe like decorate around the articles, or like paint the background? I'm sure there's a lot you can do, but I don't even get a newspaper. I don't read a newspaper anymore, I guess. Okay, Analog Planner says, you think Weeks is old Tomare River paper until 2025, but A6 and A5 starts next year. Okay, that's even more confusing. I have a video on my channel about my journal with Hobonichis if anyone's interested, because that was like the second brand I tried back in 2015 when I first got a Traveler's Notebook. Then I really got into Hobonichis, but then I kept buying all the Hobonichi stuff, but I wasn't using it. I really think it's because it was like the paper. I don't know. No theme to the bags, just using all of them to get rid of them. Well, that's a good way to use them, that's for sure. You saw an idea from, oh, James Burke. Yeah, I used to watch him. He used to do all those like illustrations and stuff, right? I used to watch him like, I mean, I don't watch him anymore. This is probably 3 or 4 years ago. I had watched a lot of his channel. all the artwork and stuff that he does. Yeah, he's definitely talented with that. He's kind of one of those people that like got me into watching more YouTube. Because surprisingly, I used to watch stationary YouTube and YouTube stuff for like years, but I always wanted to start my own channel, but I just didn't know how to do it. Like I used to watch Job's Journal all the time, um, and I was so like intimidated about how could I do a live stream, like how could I have a channel, how could I make videos, like I didn't know how to do any of that, editing videos, just the whole everything. So that's why I encourage people, if you ever wanted to start one, just do it. People will support you, people will join you. Um, it is a lot of work, of course, but it's definitely, I'm enjoying this. There are a lot of logistical challenges too, of course. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see Cheryl say that they include samples. They included samples of the new paper? Yeah, I haven't done any Hobonichi. And even last year, when I bought a Hobonichi Avec, I had ordered on Amazon. Um, but I used to always make a big purchase from the actual Hobonichi Japan store because I always wanted like the collectibles and things that they had, like I still have the tissue box or the tissue packet from years ago. It's like a refillable tissue holder. I have the like Jetstream pens that they give you. Like I was always excited for like the free gift and stuff. But then it ends up costing so much to get it shipped, and then you pay the tax or all that. So I just kind of stopped. Oh, Cheryl, thank you so much. I'm glad that you discovered our channel here and that you like the lives. Um, yeah, this is like fun for me. I look forward to it like all day at work today. I was like, oh, I can't wait for work to be over because then I can go on YouTube Live and catch up with everyone. So it's definitely been a blessing. Because you don't really, I mean, it's hard to find people in your daily life that are into this kind of thing, right? Like, none of my non-virtual friends would want to sit around and like go through traveler's notebooks and stuff with me and talk about all that stuff. Like they'll tolerate me talking about it for a little bit, but they're not into it, so it's just not as fun. George goes, yes, My Life Myths. Oh, that takes me back. And then also, I think her name is Seaweed Kisses, or it used to be Seaweed Kisses. I used to watch her stuff like years ago, and I also used to watch Love for Creativity, and in her username it was a number 8 for the word creativity. I don't know if she's still around. I watched her stuff religiously like years ago. Um, I was just always fascinated how they were able to do all these cool things. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. If you have any suggestions, feel free. Be like, oh, I want to have one of these. Like, I was even thinking of doing kind of themed lives. Like, if someone has a suggestion of something they want to do on a live, we could all do it together. Things like that. Yeah, with Job, I don't like how he edits his videos and how he does all that stuff. Like, I just don't even know how to do those things. But I'm pretty sure he's like he has some kind of background in photography, or he uses, he knows how to use all like the cameras and audio equipment and all that like fancy stuff and the lighting, and I'm just starting to understand some of that stuff now, but even then, I don't think I could get on Job's level. I'm hoping not next week, the week after next, I'm hoping I get a chance to go to Kinokuniya in New Jersey when I'm visiting my family. Um, I just have a really, really tight schedule because when I leave New Jersey, and I go to Tennessee, it's like permanent. So I won't be able to take off. I won't be able to travel and visit family basically till the summertime of next year because I start teaching in August. So um, I really want to go to Kinokuniya, of course, but I know that just it's hard to fit everything into a schedule. But if I do go to Kinokuniya, I'll let you all know. I would love to do some kind of like live stream while shopping there, and you can all tell me, wait, what do you think I should get? That would be a dream, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle that, but we'll see. And then I did see that they're opening a Kinokuniya in Atlanta, so if you're in Georgia, that might be an option for you. I know when I get back to Knoxville, I think I'll be like a 4-hour drive from Atlanta, so it wouldn't be too, and I do have friends there, but it wouldn't be too impossible to do like a weekend trip to Atlanta and be able to go to the Kinokuniya there. But I'm so used to living near like areas that have everything that this is gonna kind of just be like a cultural shock to move somewhere that does not have multiple H marts and every type of grocery store imaginable. Like here we have everything. We have like a German store, Polish store, we have Afghani stores, Indian stores, Uzbek restaurants. Like we have everything. I'm just so used to having that all the time. And then going to a place that doesn't have all that, I kind of have to just, it's a trade-off. So let me tell you about the thing about Moleskine, Cheryl. Now, I don't know if you watch Zen Glyph's channel, but she's a Moleskine lover, and I think she does Moleskine daily. So afterwards, I can post a link to her channel in this chat if you're interested, because she swears by Moleskines. I agree with you 100%. I basically don't love using them because not only do fountain pens bleed, but even I think if you use a High-Tech C or a Coletto, they smear on Moleskine papers like really bad. I used to use a Moleskine hardback weekly planner religiously at my old job because I had to walk around a lot, and having a hardback planner, I had to sign forms all day. So like if someone wrote me a form I'd have to sign, I could just hold my planner and do it. So I use them religiously, but if I used any pen that basically was not like a ballpoint pen, it would bleed through the paper and it would smear. So I love the style of them and the setup and the look of the pages. Like Moleskine pages, the font is very, I don't want to say faded. It's very like muted. And I love that, but the paper quality is just awful, and they're still expensive, right? Like if you're gonna pay $20 for a notebook, you should be able to get a notebook that's fountain pen friendly. So I don't know why they can't make some fountain pen friendly pages if they're charging that much for a notebook. Other places do it. I don't know. Yeah, Seaweed Kisses. Ana Jimenez. I don't think I've watched Ana Jimenez. I'll have to do that. Oh, Banani, I have a video called, I think it's called Journal Palooza. And what I wanted to do was catch up on all my traveler's notebook, which is kind of like, scrapbooking. Because I have a basket in my old house where I would store things that I wanted to put in my traveler's notebook. And the basket was getting filled, so I decided to just do a sit-down video where I go through and just do everything in my journal. And I did something like that with Mon from her channel. Is called Monica the Journaler, I think. I'm maybe butchering her channel name. But she kind of did the same thing too, where she had a backlog of just things that she wanted to put in her journal, and she just wanted to get caught up. So I just sat down and did it all. So when I'm doing my journaling or getting motivation and stuff like that, I love having other channel videos on, just like hearing them talk through their process. I may not be paying attention 100% or watching the screen, but I like listening to them. So, for example, earlier today, I was kind of just like in a funk, and I put on videos from the channel called Planning Calm, and she does a really good job with specifically planning videos, obviously, with her name being Planning Calm, but she speaks very clearly and very like just nicely, that like it's just nice to listen to her talk about things, even if they're not things I'm gonna do or I'm not watching the screen. She's just kind of like giving you ideas and inspiration and all that stuff. So yeah, earlier today I was watching planning calm videos for that purpose. Yeah, online shopping I like planning. You're right, but sometimes doing things in person is more fun. I like touching the things and but yeah, I mean online shopping is definitely the way to go. Yeah, Moleskins or Seaweed Kisses go to. So Seaweed Kisses, she's still on, right? I mean, I don't think I've even. It had to have been maybe 4 or 5 years since I used to watch her videos. But yeah, she was so good with the Moleskins. And I guess kind of Cheryl that Moleskins are ubiquitous. Like you can get them at Target, you can get them at almost any bookstore. Of course, you can get them on Amazon and stuff, but that's kind of like what I would call is like a universal higher end notebook. I remember being like in college and it was like the cool kids had like the black moleskins, like the artsy kids. But yeah, the paper quality is just awful. Why do they have to be like that? Now, Cheryl, have you used Leuchtturms? Because they're kind of like a moleskin, but I think the paper's a little bit better. And they used to be not made in China. Like the quality change, I think it was in like 2018 or 2019. They used to be made in Taiwan, um, and the quality was good. And then I noticed when they had changed, they started making stuff in China, and I think the paper that they used was changed. It's still decent. But again, it's like if you're paying 20 euros for a notebook, I want to be able to use a fountain pen in it. Yeah, what a walk down memory lane. There was even a channel, it was called, I think I've mentioned it before. She was AK Caribou. She was in Alaska, that's where she lived. And I used to watch her videos all the time. She did more like crafting stuff, but she would do like what's in my pencil cases and all this stuff. And this had to have been in 2015, 2016. And I would just watch her videos and just like be interested in all the different things that she was using and just like listening to her talk about like her desk setup and what she was going to journal about and all that. And then one day, a long time later, she deleted all her videos, or I don't know what happened. Like her channel still shows up, but she doesn't have any videos, and I was so bummed out. And there was the same thing with a guy named, what was his name? I think his channel was called like BV Plans or JV Plans, and he was like a Filofax person. And we can also talk about the desk of Adam if anyone remembers Adam. But BV Plans, he had like the red Filofax, and everything he had was red. He was really into red. And I used to watch his videos years ago, and he would get all these different ideas. And then like one day, I think I went to look at his channel, and it like wasn't there anymore. So I feel like that happens. L'escargot papier. Interesting. Yeah, I need something on in the background, Benani, that's like motivational. Like sometimes I like listening to music or I'll have a TV show on or something. But if I'm working in my journal and I want to keep doing it and like not lose my momentum, I need to watch or listen to someone else who's also working in their journal or they're planning or they're organizing their desk or something because it's like that same kind of energy. There's nothing wrong with listening to music, but when I hear someone else talk about their traveler's notebook in the background while I'm working in my traveler's notebook, it just feels better. It's like this sense of connection that you have, and it kind of motivates you. Yeah, Lloydstrom is, yeah, and it also depends on, I think Lloydstrom's planners are also different than their notebooks. Like if you go to, I know Meyer Barnes and Noble had them, they have the planners out for 2024, like the 2023 2024 planners for Leuchtturm. And the packaging is actually in German. So that's the other thing. If you buy ones that are marketed for Germany and like Japan, for example, sometimes those products are different than the ones that are marketed like in North America and the rest of the world. So that's why I say sometimes it's always good to check the packaging, because if it was destined for that country, sometimes the quality is different. Um, I know that's definitely true with Japanese items. Things that are made for the Japanese market have a different sometimes feel to them than the ones that still say made in Japan, but that like they're marketed to sell here. For example, if you go into a Staples store, which is probably the standard office supply store in the U.S., um, they sell Friction, they sell Pilot. You know, they have all the good Japanese quality ones, but they're marketed for the U.S., which means they're in their U.S. packaging, and they have less choices. You know, when you go to Japanese stationery stores, even in the U.S., they'll have a lot more Friction options than what's sold at Staples. They'll have a lot more Pilot options. Um, I noticed that too when I lived in Europe and I would go to stationery stores there, that their items were purchased for the Japanese stores but sold in Europe. So the Frictions I used to buy there were different than the Frictions you could buy here in stores. It's a weird thing, and I'm sure there's a reason behind all of it. But that's one thing I always look for. Like, I'm always taking note of what that item is actually marketed for. So, yeah. So we have our work cut out for us, everyone, right? So, on that note, I should get walking with the dog. She'll probably want to go out, although right now she's sleeping. But the moment I move my chair, she'll like jump up and be excited. So we're gonna go for a nice walk, even if it's in the rain. It was great chatting with all of you. I'll go ahead right now before I forget. I'll go ahead and put in the chat the names of the channels that I was talking about in case anyone wants to pop over and watch them. And I hope you all have a good weekend, and I will see you next time. And remember, if you have any ideas of something you'd love to do in a live sometime, let me know and we will make that happen. Take care.